He's a self-proclaimed internet marketing guru who claims to have made millions of dollars online. He's got a big old YouTube channel, he's written a bunch of books, and he's got courses on courses on courses. But here's the thing. There's a hidden truth about Dan Lok's internet marketing empire that he doesn't want you to know. This is the hidden truth about Dan Lok's internet marketing empire. Dan Lok. Who is he? Where did he come from? And why is he such a big deal in the world of internet marketing? Dan Lok is a bit of a mystery. He's got a fancy website, a bunch of social media profiles, and a ton of content out there on the internet. But when you try to dig deeper, things start to get a little murky. For one thing, Dan Lok claims to have made millions of dollars online, but when you try to find proof of this, it's not so easy. Sure, he's got a bunch of videos and testimonials from people who have taken his courses and seen success, but where's the cold, hard evidence? And then there's his backstory. Dan Lok claims to have started from nothing and built his empire way up to where he is today, but when you try to find out more about his past, things get even more confusing. Some people say he grew up in poor China, while others say he was born in Canada and had a pretty comfortable upbringing. Some say he started out as a copywriter, while others say he was already a successful businessman before he got into internet marketing. So what's the truth? Who is Dan Lok really, and why is he such a big deal? Before we dig deeper, subscribe and turn on notifications. Dan Lok is a smart guy. He knows how to play the game, and he's got a whole army of followers who will defend him to the death. Some people say that Dan Lok is nothing more than a scam artist, preying on vulnerable people who are desperate to make money online. They claim that his courses are overpriced and full of fluff, with no real actionable advice. Others say that he's the real deal, a true internet marketing genius who has helped thousands of people achieve financial freedom through his teachings. So who's right? Well, it's hard to say, but there are definitely some claims about Dan Lok's that are worth exploring. For example, some people say that Dan Lok's success is largely due to his ability to sell himself, rather than his actual skills as a marketer. They claim that he's a master of self-promotion, using his charisma and confidence to convince people to buy his courses and product. There are also plenty of people who swear by Dan Lok's teachings and have seen success with his methods, so it's really up to each individual to decide for themselves whether or not they believe in Dan Lok's message. But one thing's for sure, Dan Lok is a polarizing figure in the world of internet marketing, and whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny that he's got a huge following and a ton of influence. At the core of Dan Lok's teachings is what he calls high-ticket closer method. Essentially, this method involves selling high-ticket products or services that is one with a high price point by using persuasive sales techniques. According to Dan Lok, the key to building a successful high-ticket closer is to focus on building rapport with potential clients and really understanding their needs and desires. By doing this, you can create a personalized sales pitch that speaks directly to them and convinces them to buy. Of course, there's a lot more to it than that. Dan Lok's courses and programs go into great detail on the specific sales techniques and strategies that he recommends, from how to handle objections to how to negotiate deals. But the general idea is that by using these techniques, you can close high-ticket sales and make big commissions in the process. Now, there are definitely some skeptics out there who question the effectiveness of Dan Lok's methods. Some say that his emphasis on high-ticket sales is unrealistic for most people and that his strategies are overcomplicated and not very practical. But on the other hand, there are plenty of people who swear by Dan Lok's teachings and have seen real results from using his methods. Well, as with any marketing guru, it's hard to say. What works for one person may not work for another, and there are always going to be both success stories and failures. One common criticism of Dan Lok's high-ticket closer method is that it's too focused on selling expensive products or services. Some people argue that this approach is unrealistic for most people, as it requires finding clients who are willing and able to pay thousands of dollars for something. Additionally, some critics say that Dan Lok's sales techniques are overly complicated and not very practical for the average person. They claim that his emphasis on things like mirroring and anchoring is more about manipulation than genuine rapport building, and that most people would have a hard time implementing these techniques in real life. There's also the issue of Dan's pricing. As I mentioned earlier, some people say that his courses are overpriced and full of fluff, with no real actionable advice. They claim that Dan Lok is more interested in selling the dream of making money online than actually providing his students with the tools they need to succeed. But regardless of where you stand on the issue, it's clear that Dan Lok has built a massive following and has become one of the most well-known figures in the world of internet marketing. One such person is Joe Rosenbaum, who was struggling to make ends meet as a freelance writer when he stumbled upon Dan Lok's high-ticket closer program. According to Rosenbaum, the program taught him how to sell high-ticket products and services using persuasive sales techniques, which allowed him to significantly increase his income. Rosenbaum claims that within just a few months of taking the program, he was able to land a $5,000 per month retainer client, which completely changed his financial situation. He now runs his own successful copywriting business and credits Dan Lok's teachings with helping him get there. Another success story is that of Frank Kern, who is a well-known internet marketer in his own right. Kern has spoken publicly about how Dan Lok's teachings have helped him to close high-ticket sales and grow his business. In fact, Kern claims that he was able to land a $100,000 consulting client thanks to the techniques that he learned from Dan Lok. He has also stated that he believes Dan Lok is one of the smartest marketers he's ever met, and that his methods are truly effective. Of course, these are just a couple of examples of the many success stories that have been attributed to Dan Lok's teachings. There are plenty of other people out there who claim that his methods have helped them achieve financial freedom and live their dream lives. But as with any marketing guru, it's important to take these success stories with a grain of salt. After all, not everyone who tries Dan Lok's methods will achieve the same level of success. One of the key things that Dan Lok emphasizes is the importance of finding a niche. He advises students to identify a specific area of expertise or interest and to focus on serving clients in that niche. According to Lok, this approach allows you to position yourself as an expert and to command higher prices for your services. It also makes it easier to find clients who are a good fit for your skills and experience. Another tip that Dan Lok frequently gives is to focus on selling high-ticket products and services. This means finding clients who are willing to pay a premium for your expertise and offering them high-value services that are tailored to their specific needs. Lok also stresses the importance of building relationships with your clients. He advises his students to focus on providing value to their clients and to prioritize long-term relationships over short-term profits. In terms of marketing, Lok recommends a variety of channels to reach potential clients. This might include social media, email marketing, content marketing, and paid advertising, among other things. Finally, Lok stresses the importance of taking action and not being afraid to fail. He encourages his students to take risks and to learn from their mistakes, and to keep pushing forward even when things get tough. Dan Lok's approach to making money online is all about finding your niche, providing value to your clients, and using a variety of marketing channels to reach potential customers. And while there may be some skepticism about his methods, there's no denying that he has helped many people achieve success in the world of internet marketing. In conclusion, Dan Lok's internet marketing empire has been the subject of both praise and criticism. While some achieved great success through his teachings, others have been less successful and have criticized his methods as being too simplistic or too focused on making money for himself. Regardless of whether or not you choose to follow Dan Lok's teachings, there are some important lessons to be learned from his approach. One of the key takeaways is the importance of finding a niche and focusing on providing value for your clients. The world of internet marketing offers a wealth of opportunities for those who are willing to put in the time and effort to succeed. By staying focused, providing value to your clients, and taking action, you can achieve great success in this exciting and dynamic field. That's the end for today's video, so be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, otherwise I'll be forced to send a herd of angry pigeons after you. Trust me, you don't want to mess with those guys. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one, where we review who the real king of scam is, Logan Paul or Floyd Mayweather. Trust me, it's gonna be epic.